So a couple of years ago, I got myself a PlayStation 5, I got the Xbox Series X. Everything was brand new, fresh, brand new games, everything. And I felt like, oh, my dreaming gaming has come true. And then all of a sudden I felt bored. The reason why was because there was an exhausting amount of games, or there was a continuous amount of pop-ups, notifications. You were always switched on. And not to say new gaming is bad whatsoever. There were definitely simpler times that I personally loved in my gaming. It was around 2007 that was definitely peak in terms of gaming and how far it came. And there was something special or intrinsic about that time in my life. Whether it was the PlayStation 2, it was the Xbox 360, it was the Nintendo DS, definitely. Like, there were so many key games consoles during this time. Even my brother, he played the PSP. And man, it was just key gaming. There was no internet access. It was simple, it was basic, straight to the point, with so much attitude, so much personality, so much fun to be had. And man, it was just a great time. That sort of led me down the rabbit hole of wanting to get the Xbox 360 back, wanting to get back into PlayStation 3 and explore that library again. And also getting a new Nintendo DS and then PSP, all these key gaming consoles during this time, and even exploring some of those games and why it was so amazing. And I've been spending years looking at equal retro games to brand new games. I do a mix between brand new stuff and retro stuff. And there's definitely an interesting comparison between the two. With a lot of these older consoles, there was no internet access. I know the Xbox 360 was the first one. The PlayStation 3 had the internet access. There was definitely no Discord. There was no battle passes that you need to get. I think PlayStation 3 is when they brought in the trophies and everything, but still, it was just a little bit more simple during this time. And man, the menus and just even logging onto these games, like even just the UI menus of everything just felt a bit more special during this time. Oh gosh, even events, like the Halo events, the Call of Duty events, everything like that just felt so much bigger than it does now. And times have definitely changed. And to think about it, like, social media has 100% changed since that time. I remember Facebook was just starting, YouTube would have just started during this time, and it was really on the brink of change, but we had no YouTube Shorts, there was no Reels or anything like that, and I think games just felt a little bit more simple, but also you could spend a bit more time into gaming. I remember kids used to be super excited about Modern Warfare 2, or maybe it was Halo. Man, like, that was their entire lives. That's all they played when GTA 5 came out. That was all they played as well. And this era was absolute peak in terms of almost gaming addiction. And there was definitely a bunch of games that everyone loved. And there was a community forming around these games. You know, when you had the online chats and everything like that, or when YouTube was just beginning, I remember like the old school YouTube gaming videos and all the highlight reels and everything like that, and how Call of Duty, you would have like even 360 no scope or something like that. It was just old school gaming, but it was a real fun community building around this. Even the gaming events, they were just massive and monumental. When a new game was released, it felt really special during this time as well. So of course, like, I picked up a few games that were during this era, and I've got a few more, but some definite standouts to me that were replayable that we don't have anymore. Stuff like FIFA Street, like even the older EA games, from Need for Speed to this sort of stuff, they did one thing that was extremely good. Instead of putting everything in one game, they put, you know, the street football into this, and they were doing like backflips and stuff, really cool moves, really cool sort of team building, and it was just a great game overall, FIFA Street. It was definitely OG, and there's so many great games during this era. I mean, man, like, the list will go on. I've got Watch Dogs, I've got the Arkham games, I've got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Oh man, the list will go on. Even SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, 2007. There's something special about these times, and I always go back to these games. And even though there's zero internet access, and even though the graphics aren't as good as it is now, there's something so special about it. But I also love the graphics. There's something so key about this era with the way the games looked and the personality that they had, it was just something special that I absolutely love. As you can see with the smile on my face, like it really brings back something special. So that's just something that I really loved about this world and this era. But yeah, man, I mean, like, look, the games just felt a little bit different during this era. Even story modes just felt a little bit different with Metal Gear Rising. You know, it was maybe a 12-hour story, and it was so straightforward with the start and the finish, and then the boss battles and everything like that. It was just sick, and like it was just peak. It really was peak. And sometimes I just love to go back and escape the modern gaming atmosphere that we have these days. Whether it's to just turn on my Nintendo DS, play a bit of Pokemon, or something like that. It actually feels like a modern escape. I could play this anywhere, anytime. And it's such a simple thing. It's a dual screen. There were the small screens. There were never anything too crazy. And it was perfect the way it was. It was small, it was cute, it was fun, it was exciting. And the games on here were just perfect. And it was the first time they brought out the pen. I remember that. And yeah. Also, at the end of the day, it was the games. Like, without the systems, it was the games. Like, I think that was the most important thing with each system, was like the gameplay you had. So I definitely gravitated more towards the handhelds. And the best thing about this is I can still play this to this day and live and breathe in this ecosystem and have all the access to all these games, and they're less expensive than all the brand new games, some of them. I know Pokemon's very expensive now, but what I'm saying is, like, I can take this anywhere. If I wanted to exercise, I could take this on a treadmill. Like, it's so easy. It takes you away from the phone. The phone at the moment is a very dopamine central thing, like with social media and TikTok and YouTube right now. It is like a very dopamine central platform. So having a Nintendo DS, honestly, a lot of people have been gravitating towards this to reset their minds. Whether it's playing Animal Crossing or Pokemon or something like that, it definitely actually helps them. Like, you bought a game and that was the game you played. Like, I played Skyrim on my Xbox 360 for, I think, 100 hours. I really got the most out of Skyrim, as much as I could when I was playing that. And even the most niche games, like FIFA Street, that was my most played thing on the Xbox 360. That is all I played. And I played that thing for hours. And because it's such a niche game, like today, would I pick up the FIFA Street 3? I don't know, without playing it in my childhood. I don't know if it would have that gravity like it did when I was a kid, because of my own choices and not having the access that we do these days to all these amazing games. And definitely back then, like, games definitely felt a bit more personal. You know, you really connected to these characters. And even with Pokemon back in the day, they used to have the Pokemon TV show. So you used to get into the characters as well. And the Pokemon used to have the personality and everything like that. So there was something special about this era, as well as even the TV shows during this era and everything like that. It was definitely peak entertainment, and they made the most out of it. And something has changed along the line. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go out and watch TV shows for kids anymore, and I've definitely grown up. And there's definitely a different audience now for games. Like, I don't play the same games as I used to when I was a kid, but I definitely still go back and I still enjoy these consoles with a different eye. I pick up new things, or I pick up brand new games that I haven't played before when I was a kid, and I still really enjoy these experiences. So some of the things I've noticed is like how accessible older games are. Like, you have hundreds of games readily available for you as quick as possible. Whether it's eBay, whether it's secondhand shops, you can definitely get your hands on some of these retro games. I wouldn't even consider Xbox 360 to be actual retro, but there are many, many games out there which are very, very accessible. And it's a very exciting time, because obviously the way the world is right now with RAM prices, and there's a lot of stress for brand new stuff, it's nice to go back to simplicity and go back to where it all began. And sometimes I turn on the Xbox 360 and I think about where I was, and it just brings so much joy into my life. So I definitely encourage you guys to bring back those older game consoles, re-experience those games, and even try out brand new games from this generation you may have not tried already. I'm sure you've already got your top 10 already at this point, but I encourage you to even look for brand new games in this generation. I'm sure there are hundreds of titles. Maybe they're waiting for you. So please share that in the comments, your favorite games from this world and this generation. man, it'll be so exciting. Even TV shows, even movies. Oh man, it was so peak. So please share your favorite consoles. Let's talk about it in the comments. I'll see you guys soon.